when I saw this whole thing kick off, I knew there was someone going to lose. I knew that, like, when you start pushing out here and start pretending like you're the greatest star, and then you realize you're on a streaming scene that, guess what? It's not people. The bosses are the bosses. They hold the bank. They make the rules. And I mean, I remember when I was like, just got married, and like within about I think about 7 months, I was made redundant. I'd been loyal to the place for 3 years. So I understand these sort of things, when it comes to people, I guess I always get this wrong. I've got to get this right one day. Where the person whose business it is, they're only always going to look after themselves. At the end of the day, that's all that it is, right? You can pretend that it's going to be different. There's great morality out there and all this, but there isn't. And they'll pick whoever's their biggest earner to be that person, right? For me, it was like, okay, your job, you've been bringing in millions of dollars of sales over the last 3 years, but you're not family, right? Because that's how it is. You're not family. You're not part. You're not blood. You're not related to me somehow. So we're gonna let you go, even though you just got married, dude. We just gave you a raise so that 7 months earlier, so you could actually set yourself up. But you know what? Rather than giving me lower hours, I could still, be able to work a couple hours, just to make, get enough money to support myself and my wife at that time, right? It was like, okay, just out. You got, you basically got about like a 2 week severance. What I think it's like a month or maybe 2 weeks severance, and that was it. After 3 years of working, I was, people were after me. They wanted me to go work for them. They asked if I should go work on commission for other people. And I said, no, I'm loyal here because, and that taught me as I guess as a 20, gosh, must have been 27, 20, yeah, about 27-year-old, that when it comes to business, there is no loyalty. So you got to protect yourself as much as you can. Right. I mean, even last year, like, I mean, I got ripped off $1,600 because I signed a contract on the belief that, because I was stupid enough not to read the contract. And so on the belief that I would get be refunded if I gave enough notice, which I did, 4 months, that, hey, we couldn't do this because there wasn't enough interest in it now, even though we've been like, trying to promote it for about a year or two. And so it just wasn't, because everything changed last year, as you noticed, like the worldwide financially, everything changed. And so in the middle of that financial change, SAG-AFTRA, and this is something that you got to understand, which I'm trying to get to, is the higher ups, the multi-million dollars, people who get $100 million a year, don't care about the people on the ground, right? They wanna protect themselves. And so when this all happened, I was like, yeah. It's nothing about the people in the crew, the caterers. It's not the electrician, the sound people, the editors. This is about the people that have the name, right? Your Brad Pitts, it's just all these, there's so many names out there that we know, right? Of all these people. So at the end of the day, they're going to protect the names. They're going to protect the $100 million bank people, because they're the ones they make money off, and they're the ones who will get, who are protected. So if you're working in the catering, they don't care. They'll just get somebody else, hire somebody else who's cheaper, right? So at the end of the day, that's how it works. And so now, when you talk about catering, the catering in in Hollywood is voice actors, right? Any of those $100 million voice actors actors can go and do those voices. They don't need specific voice actors. So now we've seen this come across because of that, because remember, there was two things, like good pay rate, right? Residual. It was residuals and thing of AI, being used in, over and over when you go in and you get your image done in there, and then they replace you rather than coming giving you work. However, it's going to start from the bottom, right? Whenever people start changing, it's not from the top down, it's always from the bottom. So you go, okay, we'll get rid of this. Oh, that person came in yesterday. Okay, well, that person last and first out, right? That's the way business works. Like, oh, you came in last month. Oh, okay, no, we're going to let you go, but we're going to keep Bob because Bob has, been here longer and he has more experience. And so, and that's how it works. This is reality. And so with voice acting and stuff, Jensen Ackles can do Batman. Why would you need a voice actor who basically does about one or two things, but Jensen's got a bigger name, right? So you got to protect Jensen. He's got to make sure he gets the bigger, because he's got experience. He's got like icon status, right, with Supernatural and stuff. And so, and now he's in The Boys, and so he's got the name recognition. So why would you get somebody else to do Batman? Because it's going to draw. For me, I don't really care who does Batman voice, right? I love Kevin, and he was great, Kevin Conroy, and so on. But at the end of the day, you are, you're just a voice actor. And I appreciate the voice actors that I've known. I know one right now who's in anime, and he's great at it. But there's other people in voice acting who just don't deserve to be there. And we're going to be talking about one of those persons in the next week or so. We got a live stream talking about a 50th anniversary of a situation that happened, right, in anime. And we've got we're going to have a guest, hopefully come on and talk about that, and we'll do a stream about that on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And just how that environment is very toxic right now, and and how they've you've seen the local videos that I've done. If you haven't, just go on my page and then homepage and then search localizers or anime. It'll come up. But it's the biggest thing right now. So the problem here now is it's going to start, like I said, from the bottom, and it's going to work itself up. And so let's have a look at this article. Now let me pop this up a bit higher. All right. Actually went backwards again. There we go. That's better. So Yahoo Tech, NBC News, right? Let me grab a drink. Angela Yang and Chloe Mellis. This is yesterday. I think it's today in the US. I don't know. This was written for. So anyway, so she goes. Both of them go. Actors Union announces deal for AI voice acting licensing in video games, and we know Japan has already decided they're going to do human correction and AI translations now, because they just got tired of hearing Western people like myself and all over the world, Indians, Asians, Pacific Islanders, because they love their anime as well. Africans, all that stuff, all those people, right? South Americans complaining about how the Western, especially American, voice actors and localizers, directors are ruining anime and manga by putting in their own ideology. And like I said, check those videos out. Now, so Actors Union announces deal for AI voice acting licensing in video games. So let's see what this is about. SAG-AFTRA, the union representing more than 150,000 film and TV performers, announced a deal Tuesday that sets terms for use of artificial intelligence voices in video games. So what they'll do, they'll start with the extras, right? The NPCs, right? So just go, type it in, and the AI will tell you, right? We've seen all that, right? You can get somebody else, some AI to do Trump's voice, or Biden's, or or whoever else. It's there. It's already here. So there's no, so there's no humming and hawing about it. It's here, right? Whether you like it or not, it's here. So to deal with and this is the thing about this, is that these guys are supposed to protect humans, right? But they made a deal. The deal with Replica Studios, an AI voice technology company, establishes protections around the licensing of digitally replicated voices, the union said in a news release. The deal was announced at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. So they make a deal with producers of AI over, from what I understand, over the human union. Remember, unions, members pay fees, right? Whatever those fees are, I don't know. I know for me, it was $2 a week when I was 16 years old, every week from my paycheck to the hospitality, catering and hospitality union when I was working in a factory for about 3 years, right? About a year and a half in, I just quit. I said, I don't want to be part of a union. Why am I losing $100 a year or whatever to someone who just walks in and walks out, right? And I was able to get a better deal with my boss. I said, okay, now I save $2, but now I get a better deal because now I don't have to worry about being a union member. So I understand unions, but I'm also pro-union as well because I know there's protection in that. But here's a union that only protects their high-earning members. Right, so the deal was announced at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. The deal sets minimum terms and conditions and requires a company to obtain consent before it uses replicated voices, while also enabling performers to decline the continuous use of their voices in future projects. Replica, which says it aims to build the world's greatest library of AI-powered, get that? World's greatest library of AI-powered voice actors, right? Would be able to license AI voices for video games development and other projects, like I said, and PCs, and then next up, and then next up, and next up. For those of you who don't know how acting, the way they, when you get a script, there's like walk-on role, right? That's it. No voices. It's background character, walk-on role, one liner or 5 lines, and then it's all about how many lines you got to say before your pay rates goes up. Guest appearances, that's why they always say, oh, guest appearing Mel Gibson, because Mel Gibson got a $500 million check to come into this movie, so that movie, which doesn't have any other big name actors, suddenly gets a pop, right? So it has Mel Gibson and Russell Crowe, whoever, right? And that's how it works, and that's why sometimes guest actors get a bit higher rate than maybe say someone who's got a bigger part than just a supporting actor, right? You get a lead male, lead female, then you get supporting actor, and then you get if in TV it's a regular supporting actor role where it's just someone who comes on and says, hello, male's here, okay, walking off, right? That kind of thing. So ever since it ever since it entered the mainstream in 2022, generative AI has been top of minds. That's weird. So generative AI has been top of the minds for industries across the board, including in entertainment and other creative spaces. And we all know that, right? I mean, you saw how it blew up just last month or something with manga and anime, with Japan. I think it's I can't remember the name of that show now. It's something. Yeah. Anyway, but they said they were going to use AI and human corrections on dubbing, right? Voice dubbing into English, and probably not just in English, by the way, right? Because like I said, Indians watch it, Afrikaans watch it. Latinos watch it, right? Latin, South America, Russia, China, all that. So that's all these voices you can translate now using human correction, right? With AI using human correction. SAG-AFTRA's new contract with major film and TV studios ratified last month also requires producers to obtain actors' consent and may pay them to replicate their likeness with AI. Now, are they going to, pay them because you could change a few things? Like this thing with Mickey Mouse, you can, you can change it slightly, and now it's original, but it's based on that. So yeah. So anyway, so in September, video game voice actors motion capture performers voted to authorize a strike if negotiations on a new labor contract failed. Right, so this is where we're at. So Duncan Crabtree, let me just check on chat. How you guys doing? Hey, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. We'd really love your subscription. We're just building up the, for the last 7 months, right? I decided to get serious, and so I've started to build up this this channel. So I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please sub, and if you like what we're doing, there's so many videos coming out every week. Please share. We'll really appreciate it. Okay, so back to this thing. Back to the regular program show. Anyway, right. So Duncan Crabtree, Ireland SAG-AFTRA's National Executive Director, told NBC News he believes that the agreement with Replica will help bolster trust in the industry among actors who work in video games. That is a step forward for all performance. Right. So let's see what he's saying. Now, I think I think what's really important about this agreement is the fact that it provides protection for all performance at all levels in the industry. I was going to do that whole Top Gun thing, the bullshit. Or, in my head I played it, and then I was like, I hiccuped, and I was like, yeah. But anyway, you know what I mean. If you've seen Top Gun, the first one, brilliant, and the second one's good as well, man. I enjoyed the second one. All right, and provide protection for all levels, all performers at all levels in the industry, he said. And the fact is, a lot of times performers who may not be famous names really need their protection even more. Really? Aren't those the ones that you left hanging dry for months on the picket line? Those ones who had to couldn't afford mortgages? Did your big name $100 million to $500 million actors go, you know what, let's put together a fund for those people? Didn't see that, dude. I didn't hear anything about that. Oh, I can't pay my rent this week. Oh, I've got to GoFundMe now. Give a little. Those actors, those ones with no names, yeah, those extras who were out of work for months, those lighting people, those rigging people, those sound people, editors, yeah, those people, you really protected them, didn't you? And the fact is, a lot of times performers who may not be famous, we just read that, right, because their bargaining leverage to negotiate those kinds of things individually isn't as great. And they should know, because they held the power. They had the, if you got 150,000 members and all of them have to pay a percentage, you are a very rich union. And you could have reached into your thing and said, hey, all those no-name actors, all those catering people, all those people that we've left hanging dry while we, kept prodding and keep sticking it to the man, even though the man last year, lost billions of dollars, right, at the cinema alone, right, and not to mention all the streaming stuff, all the shows that don't make money, right, those people on those shows, you want to hold those streamers to account, and you had like Miss Latino Snow White saying, I should be paid for every moment this thing is shown. That's not how it works. However, I do understand that there are royalties, and I do understand that Black females, especially African American, whatever you want to say. So when I say that, it's that, right? Black American females are very low paid, and so are, depending on which, males are out there in roles, they're low paid as well compared to especially with the females compared to their white female counterparts in Hollywood. So this whole thing is a farce. That's why I laugh and I take shots at Hollywood elites, because it's a farce. They will always protect themselves and their buddies before they protect that Joe Blogg who's an extra on a show, right? Or who's got a one line, because that Joe Blogg isn't making $100 million a year, right? So his what is it? His union fees aren't that high. But you get Brad Pitt. What's Brad Pitt paying? to the union, right? Of course, he's a name guy, right? I can't. So he's got to look, his friggin' his agent's getting 15% of his residuals or whatever the deal there is, right? And then also his lawyers. So he's got, so for the people like that to, you got to have all this. But if you're a no-name actor, you don't need that. All you need to do is just have a lawyer and you got an agent, and that's it, right? So, like, I understand that stuff because, hey, I've had to protect myself as well, right? Because I have a lawyer myself, right? Because I'm in business. Last year people tried to cancel me, and I was like, I went like, hey, what do you think about this? He said, if they start, if they start really harming your business, then we'll do something, kind of thing, right? And or otherwise we'll just, and they were trying to harm my business, but at the end of the day, my friends know me better than any stranger on a freaking New Zealand cosplay site knows me, right? Because they know who I am, and they know that I look after them. And the business I was getting, I took part in was to benefit them, right? And they were there in the room when we did the negotiations, or when we talked about it, and then I discussed with them what the pay rates and everything was, because I want my friends to benefit as much as I do from it. And sometimes they benefit more than I do, because usually I'm the one who's putting my money in. And that's how, I'm different in that way. So when I look at this thing, I go, you know what? They're not protecting, they're doing the same thing I'm doing, right? To be honest, I'm protecting my friends, right? So they're protecting their friends, their buddies in Hollywood, right? So I think the idea here is that we need to, we need to challenge what's going on. Don't just freaking just fall in line. If you're a bottom tier actor, you're not first person to be what is it called? First person on their, in their mind, right? They'll rally this, what they say, the wagons, Western thing, American Western thing, they'll rally the wagons, because, you got all these native Indians out here, rallying around to get some product, right? Which, so you can see them as like the Indians out there being the studios and the, executives and all that. And so they're out there basically, rallying the wagons and going, okay, hey, Brad, hey, such and such, what do we do here? And you saw that. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, and a lot of normies don't, right? And I understand that, right? For us people who commentate on pop culture and comic books and stuff, I understand that the average person out in the world doesn't know what's going on. And so for us, like, making videos and talking about it, it's kind of our way of saying, hey, this is what's going on. Because people out there in the world, 9-to-5 jobs, double shifts, part-time, all that stuff, they don't have the time, right? Because they're just busy with their life. People like me who, kind of like do stuff for themselves, have the time. And so we kind of like out here talking about it because of that. But the other thing is, like I said, they don't care about the little guy. They can pretend about DEIE, diversity, equity, and inclusivity, and that doesn't work. As I said, Black American females get paid less than white American counterparts, females, right? And that's knowledge. That's known. That's proven, right? And here's the other thing: you didn't notice a lot of Black American females or actors on those picket lines, did you? Most of them, those who were getting like interviewed, were white people, and it's gonna, it's just the way it is, right? Or what do you say of this? What do you think of this, right? You had Mark Ruffalo, all those people. You had like the guy who was his Bryan Cranston up there. Rah, 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 rah. At the end of the day, dude, you're a name, right? You made your millions, you got all that. It's that little guy on the road who's like basically, it's just trying to get in. And and it's going to be weird. So I'm going to stop here with that. So if you guys want to read that article, I'll put that in there